Hey friend, it's William here. In this walk and talk video, I'm going to be sharing a few of my jobs over the last 20 years and how I've become an entrepreneur. I'd like to outline some of my wins, losses and lessons learned so you don't have to make the same mistakes as me. You're going to want to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to be outlining what I think are 5 great ideas for you to generate additional income from home. So let's get into the video. One of my first part-time jobs was as a baggage handler, and I loved aviation, so it was more like a hobby instead of a part-time job. Unfortunately, it was quite mentally exhausting, and on top of me working my normal job during the week and doing this part-time job on my days off really took its toll, and I only did it for about 6 months and I burnt out because it was so exhaustive. The next part-time job I had was actually as a salesman. I thought I'd use my brain power and communication skills to make extra income. The company that I worked for was a brand new, you could say, startup. It was an online menu website for local businesses. My role as a salesperson was to visit the local cafes, takeaway shops and restaurants, tell them about why it would benefit their business to list with us. I would then have to get one of their menus, scan it and upload it to our website, and that was it. Unfortunately, that business was slightly ahead of its time in terms of technology. People weren't really searching for menus at that time, and also the internet technologies was quite primitive. I had to take a USB dongle and plug it into my laptop, and then I would have to show the business owners the website using a very slow internet connection, or sometimes I would preload it with sales pages. So really, when you consider the technologies we have now with Uber Eats and Menulog, Deliveroo, all of those different ones, it really wasn't a great business model and it didn't really take off. So that's where I ended that one. Technology was not up to scratch, and for me personally, the costs to get out there and visit these businesses paid its price on me. The next opportunity was less of a job but more of a business opportunity. A friend of mine who was in the fitness industry had a great idea, and he wanted to start a directory of personal trainers. The difference with this business was it was going to be online, it was going to be a website, and it was going to have video profiles of each personal trainer. Now, this was well before there was any mobile smartphone technologies with cameras. There was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no LinkedIn. So really, this was a really new idea. For me, my job was to talk with the website designers, and I would build the website with them as a project manager. I learned a lot of skills on how to deal with people, designing logos, branding, and it was overall a great opportunity. I'm really thankful to my business partner because he really pushed me to become an entrepreneur. He shared a lot of his resources. He'd invested a lot of time and energy himself in his own personal development, and really that really has rubbed off on me over the years. He was a great role model, and so I'm really thankful that he chose me as his business partner. I left that business after a few years because my business partner wanted to take that business in a different direction. I'd really done what I needed to do, which was get the business running, set processes and procedures. We'd gone through a lot of iterations of that website. I think we went through like 4 websites, and at that time SEO was still developing. Google had changed its algorithm, so it really affected the way that we ran that business. The issues with that business was it is a business and you need capital to start that business. So unfortunately, if you don't have capital, it's very hard and very difficult to start a business. Actually, I thought that was a great business and I learned a lot about how to be an entrepreneur. Even though it was very difficult, I'd actually highly recommend you, if you wanted to start a business, to do so. I wouldn't discourage you at all. It is difficult. You may lose everything, but you will learn a lot. After selling that business to my business partner, I took a short break away from working a second job. I renovated a house. My wife and I had our first child, and it was great just to not have to worry about working so much. Unfortunately, as an entrepreneur, your brain doesn't work that way, and there's always an opportunity itch that you need to scratch. So I was on to my next thing. So I reflected on what I'd learnt building a website from scratch with the developer, branding, and everything associated with creating processes and procedures for a small business. So I thought to myself, why not leverage those skills and outsource those skills myself? So I did. So I'd actually joined a website called elance.com, and I listed my skills as a project manager in building website-based businesses. I picked up a customer and I was employed to build his website, which is for a workwear company specializing in personal protective equipment like high visibility shirts, vests, shorts, and boots. A lot of my competitors in the project management space were based overseas, so my point of difference when I was pitching to this business owner was that I was local and that he could reach me in the same time zone, and we actually had a few business meetings together. So that was a point of difference with my offering to the business owner. Unfortunately though, he wasn't willing to pay enough and I didn't charge enough. So after I had deducted all of the fees from paying my website designer and really not calculating how much time and effort it was for me to, sink my teeth into this business, I'd actually made a loss. So I pulled the pin on that one and moved on to the next opportunity. The next project was actually building iOS apps with my developer. I'd noticed when I was using my new Apple iPhone that you couldn't actually store your photos in a library, and you couldn't sort it, and you couldn't find it easily. So I thought, why not make an app for that? So I did. The first one was basically for tradespeople. They could take photos of their renovations and they could sort them and they could save them in different files. Unfortunately, Apple fixed this problem with later updates of their iOS app, so that killed that business idea. The next step in my entrepreneurial journey was in the startup field. I had this idea to create an app for finding food businesses around you. This was all prior to the Uber Eats and the other delivery apps. So I thought it was going to be a great idea. It was going to take off. So what I did was I started pitching to my local venture capitalists. I went in competitions for pitching at Muru D, which was a Telstra-backed accelerator. I also tried out for StartMate, which was the ANZ Bank's venture capital initiative. But eventually I settled in on the Founders Institute and I was accepted into that program in Sydney. It was a great program. It was an intensive 9-week campaign where we had to pitch to venture capitalists every night, once a week, just like Shark Tank. And actually this was before Shark Tank actually was aired on television. I learned a lot about trying to sell my idea to people and convince them why my product was superior. I had some great feedback from the venture capitalists. They didn't like my idea too much. Some did, some didn't. And the final nail in the coffin was Tim Fung from Airtasker, who said, "Will, I like you as a person, I just don't like your idea." So that was like a real reality bites moment for me, and then I was out of the program for the Founders Inc. So after crashing and burning in my startup attempt, I had a little break, a little circuit breaker. I just went back to working a full-time job without doing anything on the side. We'd sold our house that I'd renovated, and my wife and I had our second child. So it was a pretty busy time for me and the family, so I thought I'd just enjoy that. After a year of that, I got bored again, so I went back to study. Now, my wife was always encouraging me to go to tertiary study, and there was an opportunity at work where they would sponsor employees to go to university, and that's what I did. I've done another video about my study habits and how I got into study, and you can find the link on this screen. In my other video about study tips, I outline how study has changed the way I thought, and it's actually provided one of the business opportunities I'm going to discuss in my top 5 ways of earning additional income from home right now. Income stream number 1 involves online marketing. So when I mean online marketing, I mean using your skills to help other businesses get noticed online. This may involve you being a social influencer where you're promoting or reviewing a product or business, or it might involve promoting someone's services on Facebook or Google or even YouTube. So that is one way that I think that you could use your skills in the online marketing space to generate income from home. Online income stream number 2 involves teaching. Do you have a skill or a hobby that you are passionate about and that you can share with others? Well, why not teach online? With online technologies such as Zoom or Skype, you can actually teach people virtually. For example, my daughter is learning piano, and with the lockdown, they can't do face-to-face learning anymore. So they do a weekly online Zoom piano tutorial, and it seems to work really well. So is there something that you know that you can teach online? Why don't you give that a go? The third income stream, and the final one I'm going to categorize as an online job, is outsourcing. Perhaps you've got a specialized set of skills which you can utilize to help other people. For example, you might have accounting experience. You might be a graphic designer. You might be a website developer. You can use these skills and sign up for different outsourcing websites like Fiverr.com, Freelancer.com, Elance.com. There's so many different websites out there where you can sign up and advertise your skills for funds. Why don't you give that a try? Here's a bonus tip. If you haven't got any of the skills, why don't you learn? YouTube is a great resource that is free, and you can learn it at your own pace at any time. Also, there are websites like Skillshare and Udemy which you can learn a new skill. So if you want to learn something new, there's nothing to stop you from starting right now. The next 2 income streams I put in the banner of building an actual business that you can sell in the future. You put in the time now, you put in the energy now, and you reap the benefits later on when you sell the business, or when that business is making enough income to pay you a salary. Income stream number 4 is selling digital products. And when I say digital products, I mean putting something in a digital format and for you to sell. You could do that in a one-to-one sense in a coaching program, or it could be in a group coaching environment online through Zoom or some other platform using video technologies. Perhaps you could put your knowledge or expertise in a video course. You could upload your videos in different modules, in different topics, and then upload it to websites such as Kajabi or Kartra, and people, your customers, can watch your videos at their own pace. Another way you could sell your services or product digitally is via private Facebook group. You could have a membership program where people subscribe and pay you monthly or annually, and they can get access to you through that channel. In the future, when you grow your subscriber base, you can on-sell that as a business. So not only will you get the money from recurring membership sales or digital product sales, you can actually sell the business at a profit as well. So why don't you give that a try? The fifth income stream that you might like to try is selling physical products. This is the method that I use to generate income because I sell on Amazon's FBA program. Currently, I'm selling wholesale and private label on the Amazon United States marketplace, the United Kingdom marketplace, and I have sold on Amazon Australia in the past. You might think, I don't know anything about selling physical products, but there are a lot of great resources here on YouTube where you can learn how to sell online. In a nutshell, with selling physical products, you find a manufacturer online. You can use Alibaba.com to find some great manufacturers. You get your brand, you whack your brand on that generic product, you get it shipped into the fulfillment warehouse, and that fulfillment marketplace will sell that product for you for a fee. It's a great way to get your foot in the door online, and it's a business that you can build and sell in the future. Some of the marketplaces which offer a fulfillment program is Amazon.com. Walmart also has a fulfillment program. You might like to try your own website through Shopify.com, or there's even the tried and trusted eBay route where you find a product and you sell directly through their channels. I'll be making more videos about selling physical products in the near future, so stay tuned for those ones. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've liked it so far, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future videos. Thanks for watching. My name's William, and I'll see you in the next video.